Ooh, bright light. Good evening, everybody. Hey, what's up? It's Miss Kiane. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Words on Wednesdays, please. Not Words on Wednesdays, excuse me. Sunday coaching with yours truly, the one and the only Miss Kiane. I am so sorry. I'm a little late today. As you can see, I'm out of studio. I am in a different location. So I did not want to renege on my commitment, but I am a few minutes late. Come on in the room, guys. We won't be long today. Hey, what's up, Tony? What's happening with you, bro? Just want to talk a very short period of time about being bendy or flexible. Hey, 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 come on in the room, guys. Come on in the room. What's happening? What's happening? Happy Sunday to you. I hope it is a great day. I hope it's been a great Sunday. It rained where I am. Windy. I have a poem idea. I saw the wind. I saw the leaves swirling, and with every swirl of the leaves, the trees were becoming bare, more and more bare. So something I had an idea to write about. So it was kind of cold and yucky. But then the sun came out, and it warmed up, and for about 3 or 4 hours, it was just bright and pleasant. So I hope your Sunday had a break like mine did. What's up, Mr. Buxton? Hey, Aisha. I don't know why my Facebook shows me your names multiple times. I wonder, I must have did something in my settings. Anyway, welcome, welcome, welcome. It's Sunday Coach, and I am Miss Kiane. I'm a poet, and I know it. I am the proud owner of Kiane Healing in the Pen. Kiane Healing in the Pen is a poetry biz. We foster hope, healing, and social change through poetry, through spoken word, through reflective and cathartic writing workshops, through poetic gifts, custom poetic gifts, and merchandise. I don't have it on right now, but I have t-shirts and I have mugs, and we're going to be adding in 2020. We have some new colors and things coming out. So, and we also spread hope, healing, and we foster social change through community events that highlights the arts while educating and informing and raising awareness, and sometimes raising funds for organizations or for movements that are about a good cause. This year, our annual event is December 7th at the Arc right here in, I know some of you are not right here, but in DC and Southeast DC. And the Gathering, Open Mic with a Cause. That is our annual event hosted and sponsored and powered by Kiane Inc. And this event is a fundraiser for the Inkwell. I am also the visionary and the board chair for the Inkwell, a new nonprofit slated to help young people heal and find their voice and love themselves through what medium, you say? Through poetry, through writing, through creative expression. So if you haven't done so already, please, by all means, get your ticket. Okay, it's going to be a great event because you're going to be there. That's what makes any event awesome, is the participants. So if you haven't done so already, please get a ticket. Go to www.kianeinc.com. That's Diane, but with a K. Inc. as in writing.com. That's www.kianeink.com. Anybody watching, feel free to put that in the comments to help me out a little bit. All right, so this is our one of two Facebook Lives that I have, and this is Sunday Coaching. I call it the break between the rounds. The break between the rounds, two boxers on their perspective sides of the boxing ring, and they go to their perspective corners, and then they're in that 1 minute time before they have to be thrown back into the ring. They have a moment to get a swig of water, a moment to have their brow wiped. Maybe they got a little cut under their eye, get a little dab or do you, but also maybe a few seconds to receive some words of encouragement, words of reminder about what they've been taught, strategies or what have you. And this is Sunday Coaching Sunday coaching with Miss Kiane, or what I like to call the break between the rounds. And I love, really, quite honestly, to have conversations. So really, this is Sunday coaching, but it's more of a conversation, right? So if you're available, if you're able, I know some of you are watching, but you may be multitasking. And if you have some free time, I would love it if you would, comment, add your 2 cents, as you will, to make the conversation even more interesting and dynamic. What I like to kind of talk today, or just converse a little bit about today, is I put in the title Bendy, Bendy. And really what I'm talking about is the importance of being flexible. What I've been discovering of late, and the older I get, the more I'm learning about myself, the more I'm learning my inadequacies as well as my strengths. And I'm learning more and more the importance of being flexible. Hey, what's up, Shaw? What's up, Mr. Joseph? Hey, Kim B, what's going on? I'm learning more and more the importance of being flexible, right? Flexibility is the ability to bend or to adapt, right? To bend and to adapt, to make adjustments. But specifically for me, when I'm talking about being flexible and what it means right now in this place that I'm in, it's my own reflective place, is being able to bend but not break, right? Bending does not mean you are breaking. That's what it kind of, hey, what's up, Asha? Bending but not breaking. That's kind of where I am. Learning how to bend, but I'm not broken. Wow. So there's a poem that I have that when I say to you this poem, some things I've written, I was inspired, and perhaps when I reflect on it, maybe it is, something that came out of me, like my own inspiration, my own creativity, my personally directed thoughts. And then I'm gonna be honest with you, other times I write things and it is definitely divinely inspired. I believe God gave me the piece. God, is speaking, and I'm the conduit for that voice, right? And there's a piece that I wrote called Dear You. I think that title may change, but right now the title is Dear You, and it speaks about strength, and it's in the voice of God speaking to the hearer. And I promise you that piece convicts me, jacks me up. I'm reminded of it like I didn't write it, right? Like I didn't write, oh my God, that line is just so awesome. Okay, I can go on a little further. It speaks to me personally all the time, that part, right? And so there's a line in that piece called, that says, okay, of course, let me see if I can remember it. It says, life serves you up on styrofoam plates, warmed over leftovers, plastic cutlery, fine china seemed imaginary, but what good is a fancy bowl if the contents is old? You have no idea how strong you are, how bold you are, how unlikely to fold you are, but while others drop and break like those china plates, you bend and lean. And if at first you don't succeed, you try again, stand up again, and hope again. That's just a segment of that poem, and it came to mind as I was thinking about what can we converse about today, about this flexibility. While others drop and then they break, it's important to bend and lean and try again. So this is what I'm kind of learning in this season, the importance of flexibility. And for me, I thought I was a flexible kind of gal, but I'm learning I ain't being so flexible, see? Hey, what's up, Patricia? I'm learning how I may not have been as flexible as I thought I was. Because once I get a vision of what I want, right? What's up, DC native son? How you doing? Hey, D Scribes. When I get a visual of what I want, right? Or what I think, what I want, let me just be honest. I want to create that. There's something I see, or either something I see or something that I want others to experience. So I want to, and I have a visual or concept of how to make that come into manifestation, or make that come into fruition, or come as close as possible. And I can get a little tunnel vision. And again, I didn't realize it, and now I see it. But when things interrupt what I'm, how I'm going to do it, and it could be literally, I want a color scheme of red and yellow and gold. It may be something as simple as that. And I wanted this to be red, and I want that to be gold, and I want the white to be on the side. It could be something like that. And then there's a monkey wrench is thrown in there, and the gold can go on the top, but it can't go on the bottom. And I'm like, wait a minute. Well, why we can't make it put it on the bottom? And so then either I become stuck, like lost, like how come I can't make this puzzle piece fit? But what I'm learning is, that cliche, where there's a will, there's a way. If I would just be flexible, it doesn't mean that what the vision is won't come into fruition. It doesn't mean that the vision is totally obliterated, right? I want it red, gold, and white. It doesn't mean that if gold is up here and white, and nothing on the bottom, it doesn't mean that, it's over and it's not going to work, right? It doesn't mean that. And I'm learning that. I'm learning the importance of being flexible. Being able to understand what there are different ways to approach this, right? Check it. So, Asha says skyscrapers in Chicago are built with flexible metal bars in the center, so gusts of wind don't snap them in half. Flexibility is survival. That's it. Pretty much, Asha just summed up what I was trying to say. So it was good talking to y'all, and we'll come again next week, right? She's right. Skyscrapers in Chicago built with this flexible metal. That's another line in the poem. Your spine is made of flexi steel, agile, shock absorbing, never broken. But anyway, that's another piece of the poem. So she's talking about that metal piece in the building, so that when the wind comes, you sway, but you won't break. So that's the thing. I'm tripping because I'm like, things are so topsy-turvy, right? In my life. they're, I don't feel like I'm standing on stable ground, yet I'm not falling, right? I feel like I'm flat, dead in the water, right? But when you look around, you're not exactly dead in the water. You're balancing, right? You're balancing, right? And you have to be fluid. If you're rigid, you're going to fall over. Same concept with, Joseph says, expand your range. Most definitely. Expand your range. I love it. We were talking about this weekend, how drunk drivers, they are in accidents, and many times they walk away with a scratch, maybe. And then the damage around them is ginormous. And the reason often being is that because they're very relaxed, right? They're under the influence, and they flow and move and sway, and they don't brace themselves for impact. They just kind of go with the impact, right? Then their survival rate is much higher than the surrounding components, because the surrounding components have braced them. The people have braced themselves and therefore they're broken, perhaps not here any longer, because they weren't able to go with the flow, right? And so, as Asha stated, and even Joe was stating, that it's flexibility is paramount to our survival. It's paramount to our survival. Life is filled with, is a song, swift transitions. Life is filled with so many monkey wrenches, curveballs, things that maybe we didn't expect. Some minor and some real intense. I was away this weekend for the funeral of a cousin of mine, first cousin, unexpected, and some other things. But and death has a way of making you really be reflective anyway. But I wasn't planning on going to a funeral in the middle of the week, right? I wasn't. Who's planning for that, unless who's, but you have to make adjustments. So I'm thinking about this just using this week alone, how, okay, I don't have access to vehicle, but I need to go to New York, okay, how are we going to make this happen? And so how are we going to do this? So I'm just giving examples of how they're minor, but they become major when when you had one thing in mind, and now you just got that plan to fit just right, and then there's something that comes and interjects with that plan. And if you're not careful, you'll be stuck, right? If you're not careful, you'll break down with, like the ostrich with his head in the sand. Yes, build your hope, right? You won't be able to progress. You won't be able to move forward. You'll be an obstacle to that which is around you because you're stuck if you're not flexible, right? And so what is the reason why we may resist flexibility? What is the reason that I may resist flexibility? Is, like I said earlier, I have what I think is supposed to be in my head. Like I'm the one who is the know-it-all. Like I'm the omniscient one. But I'm not the omniscient one. I'm not the all-knowing one, right? But I have my plan in my head. This is how it's supposed to be. Or this is how it ain't supposed to be, but here I'm going to make it work with what I got. And it still has an interjection into that. And this is one of the reasons why we're not always embracing a flexibility, because there's a fear that perhaps the end goal cannot be accomplished. If you don't do it like this, my end goal won't happen. There's a fear that, or reservations about, well, it has to be this way. What other way could there be? Because what will others think, right? There's this, another reason why flexibility may not be embraced is because, as Joe said, our minds are not expanded. There's a quote that I read, and I didn't have time to write it down, but there's a quote that I read, and it spoke to, if you're not open, and I'm paraphrasing, if you're not open for your mind to be changed by a new experience, basically you remain in the same space, because a mind, not just what you do, but your mind, right, being expanded, as Joe said, to flexibility, to expand the range. Sometimes an experience, that's what life is all about. A string of experiences designed to expand your range of conceptualizing this thing called life. Expanding your range to be able to manifest your purpose, right? Expanding your capacity to be able to live and live abundantly. That's what life is, ultimately a string of experiences designed for that purpose, to expand us, to mold us, to shape us, And so if you're not open to the expansion, you will not survive, as Asha said. You will bend and break, like MissKiane said in her, you will drop and break, like I said in the poem. You may become an obstruction, right, to the things around you, and definitely to yourself. So these are things that hinder us from being embracing of this flexibility, this fear of what if my outcome doesn't happen, this reservation about what will others think about me, right? And this just not open to the extension of our capacity. But today, I just want to encourage us, right? Encouraging me, Lord, have all the mercy to be flexible, be bendy, because here it is. And again, there may be various people that watch this from replay to currently, and you may or may not be professed to be a believer in God. I do. So here's my frame of reference. That like I said, I'm not the omniscient one. I don't know all things. Though sometimes I operate like, okay, I got this, or this is going to work. And then when it doesn't, I find myself all discombobulated, stiff and inflexible, not going with the flow. But here's what I'm learning. Take a pause, because things are going to come. Things are coming constantly, because life is a string of experiences. When the experiences come, take a pause and let yourself kind of fall into that experience. That's the flexibility, right? That's the lucidness. I'm not encouraging drunk driving, of course, but likened unto the person who's intoxicated, whose inhibitions are untainted. They are loose and free. So they're not bracing themselves for all this stuff. They're just kind of going with the flow. And when you go with the flow, when the experiences come, I encourage us to pause and embrace the experience. Go with it. And then let whatever the experiences come to teach you, whatever the lesson that the experiences come to teach you, whatever the increase of your mindset that the experience has come to teach you, let it be. Embrace it. Don't reject it. Don't push it away. Don't try to, like I said, I want the red here, the gold here, and the white here. And now I can't do it. So now, instead of me just saying, oh, I can't have gold at the bottom. All right, let's go with what can I have? And what will work? Okay, great. And embrace it. Allow yourself to be fluid in the motion of the experiences. And I'm saying that because there's some nuggets and some gems in the experience that we can glean from, that's going to help propel us to the next place and help us be expanded in our mindsets, right? And what you may find is what I was looking for from my outcome, it's still here. And matter of fact, it may even be better than what you had in mind, right? If we learn to pause, embrace, and then receive the gems from the experience. It's a whole different perspective. It's challenging. I'm not claiming that it's easy, but it's challenging, but it's also how we live, how we survive. You ever talk to someone who you think should be seasoned, like older and have some maturity, or even if it's a young person, but they, you old enough, to understand these concepts, and you find they just haven't received some of the nuggets of what their life's experiences should have brought them to at this point, and you're perplexed by it. And I guarantee you, it's most likely that they have not paused, embraced the experiences, and taken from those experiences what they were supposed to learn. But instead, they've attempted to counter, constantly countering what this experience is come to teach us. And as a result of countering it versus embracing it, have become rigid, have not been able to be expanded in their place of thinking and conceptualizing. They haven't learned the lessons. And consequently are still chasing the outcome because they refuse to believe that this outcome can only come this way. And I know I'm kind of talking, maybe I hope you're following what I'm saying, because I'm kind of working through it. Sunday coaching often is what I'm working through, and I'm learning to be flexible. I'm learning to embrace the experiences, because perhaps there's experience here, and then I'm learning also how am I behaving in those experiences. That's another conversation. So I'm encouraging us to be flexible. It's easy to complain because it just flows a little easier. But what would happen if we went with the flow? What would happen? Some of the things, think about your own life right now. What are some things that are kind of seemingly countering you, kind of pushing against you? You feel like you're pushing against it, trying to get to this outcome. Think about something, whatever they may be. You know what I'm saying? Whatever they may be. And then think about it. Is there a place where you can stop resisting and just kind of pause, embrace it, right? And then say, maybe there's another way. Maybe I'm being redirected another direction, and I won't see it because I'm so fixated. Maybe there's a lesson that I could glean here. Maybe my capacity and my mindset can be changed here in a way that's going to benefit me as I go forward. So that's the thing. Our experiences are come to bring us some knowledge and wisdom, right? And when we are rejecting those and fighting and countering and instead of embracing them and listening and absorbing, then when we continue to kind of move and navigate, there's some lessons that we need for the next place that we haven't learned because we haven't embraced the lessons from the previous experiences. So, and that's a part of the flexibility that I'm talking about. I'm talking about, letting our minds be changed by life's experience unto good, unto greater capacity, unto an expanded range, unto a place where we can walk away unscathed because we went with the flow. We were like a wave. And what if we were more like waves than a board? What if we were more like waves than just a board? I can go on and on about that as well. Because if you think about sound waves, they continue on and on and on. They never really stop. There's no real true interruption. And if you think about life, I know for me, I feel like there's constant interruption. But if I was going with the flow and if I was more of a wave, then I really won't be stopped. But that's another conversation too. So here's my 2 cents once again. Flexibility, right? While others drop and break because they are rigid, refusing to expand their range, they drop and break. But us, we bend and we lean and we try again, and we keep on hoping again and again, because that is to survive the game of the survival of the fittest. And I'm saying that because, again, that's where I've been. It's like I'm tunnel vision. This is what I want. This is what I see. Why can't I get it's right there. How come I can't put my hands on it? If I could just get this here, everything be perfect. I could just be right there. Meanwhile, maybe what God is trying to show us is that there's another way. There's a way that seems right to you. It seems right. But I'm telling you, I am the way. I am telling you, this is the way. And in this route that I'm trying to lead you, I'm going to teach you by these experiences. This is going to teach you humility. This is going to teach you ingenuity. This is going to teach you compassion. This is going to give you empathy. And it's not just for you to have it. It's not just for me to have empathy, compassion, it's for you through frugality. I'm going to teach you discipline, all those different things. It's not just for you to have it, but it's also for the next place, the next experience, the next season, whatever you want to call it, right? So that you can have the skill sets to navigate that. And you can handle the interruptions in a different way. See, it all plays together. But that's the fluidity that I'm talking about. That's the fluidity. That's the flow that I'm talking about. That's my 2 cents. And I'm sticking to it. I know it's kind of rambly today, but I'm working through it because that's just where I've been. And I hope that it made a little bit of sense to you. Even if it's a little bit. If nothing else, be flexible. This is what I'm take away this. Be flexible. Let your mind be expanded. Let your conceptualization be expanded. Life is a string of experiences that have come to teach us some things. Wisdom and knowledge, skills, character. And if we go with the flow, we pause and embrace and receive the gems from those experiences, we can survive. We can live, and we can live abundantly because we understand, right? We can walk away unscathed, just like, and again, I'm not encouraging this, but just like the person intoxicated who's driving or operating something, they walk away unscathed most of the times because why? They went with the flow. They didn't have to brace themselves, but instead they paused, embraced, and received because of the flow. So, hey guys, again, that's my 2 cents. I'm sticking to it. Thank you so much for joining. I do hope it made sense. Put some comments commentary in the comments. Thanks, Joe. Thanks so much. If it made sense to you, please like, follow, and share. right? Hearts are always welcomed. It's great currency in this space here. Hearts and thumbs up are great currency. Please do so if you so desire, and share it with someone if you feel like it's something that another person could benefit from. This is the break between the rounds. Sunday coaching with yours truly, Miss Kiane. Hey, be bendy. Next time. Peace.